Today we want to talk with you guys about something that's very important, which is how difficult things in your personal life can really impact you as creator, the quality of your work, what you create, what you believe about yourself, and how it impacts your audience. A lot of really good stuff we're going to talk about with Luria here today. Hey guys, my name is Tim Schmoyer and welcome to Video Creators. This channel is all about helping you guys grow a YouTube audience so you can spread a message that reaches people and changes their lives. And I know you are really into like reaching people, impacting them.
Yes.
She has a great thing that she's doing with live streaming. So I work with her and her team, learning a lot about live streaming myself. And so anything you want to learn about, she's the person to go to. But You're not just a live streaming person, you have a life too. Tell us a little about your story as a creator.
So 2005, Apple was releasing their first video iPod. This was before the iPhone existed.
Yeah.
And I was one of the very first video podcasters, now called YouTubers. So over the last 12 years, I've, up until like 10 years, I built like about 2 million followers and had a super successful from the outside, business, and I had a lot of brand deals, and Panasonic and Samsung and AT&T and all of these people, and lots of sponsorships and a huge audience, a super engaged audience.
Right.
And then everything kind of fell apart. I intentionally built a business out of it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, behind the scenes, while everybody's like, "Oh my God, you're like amazing, and you're this huge big deal," and that was cool, but I didn't feel quite like that was right. Like it didn't make sense to me because behind the scenes, I was, I dealt. My whole life, from a childhood, I was in controlling relationships of one kind, from stepfather to stepsister to husband to business partner, and the whole ordeal was like, I don't feel like I have control over my life, And so at one point, 10 years in, I started to actually grow up and, sort of break free from that. What that did was I started not being comfortable pretending. And so, and then I had to really face the facts. And so at that point, it was, okay, this partnership isn't working, this, the business isn't working, the business itself wasn't doing as well as it looked like from the outside, and I had to face that fact. And honestly, I let a lot of people down.
Do you feel like your work really suffered as of like the creative side? Was that like not maybe like squashed a little bit, or is it?
For
and the
sure.
audience didn't. Were they responding to this at all, or not really?
Yeah, well, I think it kind of blew up in their face because I was hiding while everything was going on. I don't think that my work suffered until I knew that I had to make a change, and that change was let that business go. Ooh. Change my name.
It's a big change.
Yeah, like it's
That's
my baby.
Like starting over, like from scratch.
I mean, 10 years worth of building a baby, like of creating a baby, right? Like it was hard. It was the most difficult thing I'd done. Yeah. Changed my name, stopped doing tech news and reviews entirely, and decided I wanted to teach what I'd learned how to do, how to build that community, how to do live video and all of that, but really help people connect on a deeper level with their own communities. Yeah. Like that teaching bug got me. And so it didn't really affect my work until that, bam, sorry everybody, bye.
So when you were going through that, were you at the point you're like, I don't even care anymore, just get this out of my life, I want to start all over? Or was this like, this is super scary for me to like let this go and start all over? Or you were like, I am so glad I want to start all over? Or what was?
Yeah, it was months in the making. I was scared to death. I was crying every night, trying to figure out how to even go through this process or what it even looked like. It was the most difficult to say. I mean, I lived my divorce online in the public eye. This change was even harder than that. You know what I mean? Like, that's probably saying something.
Yeah, I'll say so. So why didn't you just give up creating altogether and just go hide in a hole? I guess I think that's what I would have done. I would have been like, screw this. I'm going to go hide and never come out.
I'm not. When I decide to do something, I go all in.
I see that.
So,
yeah, apparently.
So I don't think that was ever an option for me. I feel the constant need to do more and be more, only for the reason that I know I can help people from a deeper perspective. And so that's what drives me.
I see that's like consistent with like the creators who make it, who overcome conflict, who overcome like big obstacles and adversity, because everyone hits those. I mean, I've certainly had them. They look different for different people, but the people who push through it do it not because it's just trying to feel more popular, not getting more views, more subscribers, or trying to get more money. It's like they have this bigger thing.
You know, for 10 years, people had asked me, number one question was, how do I do what you do? And so I thought,
that's how I got started.
Yeah.
Actually, now I think about it, it's kind of a nutshell.
I started teaching video, and then I realized as like Facebook embraced live video, I realized, because it was actually, I had started with video and then I morphed into video and live video, and then Facebook went all in, and I was like, that's the thing, because that's where I stand out, because I've been doing live video. Like, people don't know that live video has existed for as long as it has.
I know. Well, YouTube's had it for years.
Yeah, and I think that's where it was, like, that realization of, oh, like, that's what stands out about me. You know, like, corporations, huge corporations have hired me to be their live video person. So like, it's like, okay, you got to find those things that set you apart a little bit in terms of your experience or knowledge.
So what did you start doing then when you start growing the next business? So I'm assuming you did it differently the next time, like the second, like what were the steps that you took to go forward from there?
I just did whatever the hell I could think to do.
That's very legit, yeah.
So I first of all, David set up the new website and set up all the back end stuff.
So it sounds like you partnered with somebody.
Yes.
Like that's probably a good
partnered
step.
With somebody,
like
yes.
Find people you surround yourself with who can help you reach those goals and things.
Right. I started learning about marketing, and I started learning, because previously my business was all sponsorship, brand deal based, and I knew that I wanted to get away from the sponsorship model because it was just such a volatile world. We started actually doing Geeks University because that's what made sense to me at the time, and then I had a mentor say, so what is Geeks University exactly? Like, what's in that name? And I was like, oh, the name matters. The name matters. So we switched to Live Streaming Pros, and our business entirely changed.
Oh, yeah.
The thing I've learned through all of my mistakes and all of my transitions is that transition is actually where the success happens. Like, I used to feel such tremendous guilt and sense of I'm doing it wrong every time I made a mistake, every time I transitioned. Like, that felt so heavy and wrong to me. And I think a lot of people feel that. I've become aware of how many people transition in their business. Like, it is the only thing that gets you to the next thing.
Right. Yeah.
And so, every mistake that I've made in the last 12 years was necessary to get me to where I am. And that I have learned to embrace failure. I've learned to embrace those mistakes.
I read a good book recently by Donald Miller called "1,000,000 Miles in 1,000 Years," and his principle is like the elements that make for a good story are also the same elements that make a life worth living. And most people try to avoid conflict. They try to avoid the pain, the suffering, anything that's uncomfortable. But your story is like exactly what that is. Like, you have to go through the pressure cooker for the character to be transformed, and that's what we love about stories,
Yeah, it has made me who I am today, and I actually like who I am today.
And you wouldn't have the success of Live Streaming Pros without having gone through all that.
Exactly.
That soul story.
The way of the future is to really solidify a relationship first and get engagement first over thinking about numbers, and live video allows that to happen.